Welcome, Tom, to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Primal Fear now, this new album Code Red, and obviously your tour across Latin America. First of all, how have you been? How was the fans' reaction to the last album until now, and how does it feel to be back in this part of the world?
First of all, it's always great to be back in South of Latin America because the fans are so fanatic and enthusiastic and they really support us, and it's always great to play shows in front of them because it's absolutely one of our favorite shows to play because the fans are so amazing. They are singing to our songs, and that's just fucking great. So we're here since last Thursday, and tonight we will play our third show. We had a lot of off days and a lot of traveling. And tonight we'll play, I think in 2 hours, we'll play in Curitiba, our third show. And we are really looking forward to it. And yeah, everybody's feeling really relaxed and great. And we're having a great time over here. And all is well so far. And about Code Red, so we released the album September 1st. And we got the highest chart position ever in the German charts with this album. And we also got very, very good reviews and chart position all over Europe. And we're pretty excited about all the reviews. And it seems like the fans like the new album.
Okay, nice to hear. So we have to wait for 3 years after you released Metal Commando. At that time, you released an EP in 2021. Why didn't you release an album before, considering that the pandemic forced us to stop and many bands used the time to work on new songs? Or were the songs for this Code Red album composed during that time and you decide to wait?
So we released Metal Commando in 2020.
Yes.
So it was about that time when Corona really started. So we couldn't go on tour with Metal Commando, whether in Germany nor in America. So there were tours planned with Symphony X in America that didn't happen because of Corona. We wanted to go on European tour like 3 times, and we needed to postpone all that stuff. And then we have this fantastic lockdown in Germany where we were not allowed to go out of our house. And then what will you do as a musician? You start sitting at home and starting writing new songs. And then everybody in the band has his own little studio. And so we're starting writing songs. And then we threw our ideas back and forth. And then all of a sudden we got a new album together. That was a couple of days because, as you probably might know, Matt got ill. And so we were on hold together with Matt. And it was a tough time for us as well because we didn't know if Matt will survive it or not. And we are all happy that Matt is still alive and back on track, so to say. Yeah, but it was a tough time. And it took us like 3 years to bring out a new album because of Corona and because of Matt. But everything's fine so far. And we're happy that we could release the album. And we are also happy that we can tour again.
Well, Primal Fear works in total with 3 guitars players. How do you manage to work together when you work on a new record? So, because I suppose a lot of ideas may be involved in terms of guitar parts when you are working a new song.
Yeah, it's like everybody got his ideas and started to work on his songs, and then like Magnus did send songs to Matt or to Ralf, and then they work on songs. I send songs to Ralf or to Matt, and Matt sending other. So everybody is sending ideas back and forth. And then we try to make the best songs. We pick up the best songs out of probably like 20 or 25 songs, and to create a new album, which is pretty cool in itself about the songs. And then this time when it came to recording, I played all the rhythm guitars on the album this time. And then we try to figure out who can play the best solo on this song and who can play a solo on this song or not that song. And so we split it up like equally for Magnus, Alex, and myself.
Okay. Another hero and cancel culture are great ways to present Code Red to your fans. So singles have been always important to engage with fans and occasional listeners But no, but nowadays people consume every fast, and we have to get the attention in the shortest possible time. Considering this, how do you choose your singles and even the order of the songs in an album in order to keep the listeners with you? How important do you consider this aspect?
I think Matt came up with the idea to call the album Code Red because of these times we are having right now with all the crises all over the world and probably also his personal health issues. And so it was pretty easy to choose an album like Code Red. And when we started writing songs, and then we have like, okay, we have like 12 songs or 11 songs for the album. And so we started with like, which could be like a good single to represent the album for the fans for the first time. So you will not bring out like a ballad because then it goes like, why a ballad? Normally, Primal is well known for metal music, and so we decided to release a metal song at first, like a track that is really typical for us with Another Hero. And then yeah, it's always like that. We always try to represent the new album with our first single. And yeah, and then we decide which could be the next single, which would be like I think it was Deep in the Night, if I was not wrong. Deep in the Night was the second single, yeah. So yeah, and about cancel culture, no, it's like also a great tune and got great lyrics.
Yes.
Personally, my personal opinion, great lyrics. And yeah, I think we get a lot of really, really good and great metal songs on this album. And we could have chosen different songs as well as an opening video track to represent to the audience. But I think that Another Hero is a cool song, and we also play this song live on our current setlist.
Right. Cancel culture is a song that talks about a topic that is relevant nowadays, and we are not discussing this enough. There is a dichotomy in all aspects of life, and the internet with its social networks are used as a weapons for people to unleash the worst of them, even in the music industry. It is curious that we have access to more information, and internet should bring a kind of democracy where everyone can have a chance to express themselves, but we are getting the opposite in this way. So how do you see your fans' reaction to this song and its lyrics? Do you think this cancel culture may affect the music industry from now on?
What do you think about cancel culture? What is your opinion about that? I mean, as when I was young and the internet started, we were like happy because, oh, now we got the internet. Now we can get in contact with people all over the world, which was like, wow, great. It was a great idea. But nowadays it's more like a curse because nowadays a lot of people on the internet just started arguing and bad mouthing at you, and you do not know them personally. They hide behind the name and you do not know where they are coming from. Just try to throw shit at you because they do not like your new album, and they go like, oh, fuck this guy, and he cannot play guitar and he cannot sing and blah, blah, blah. But they do not know us personally. And for me, personally, I think that's not a pretty good aspect. If you don't like an album, don't like it, but don't start to comment it or throw shit at the artist because they put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of heart to make this album happen. And if you don't like it, I don't like it. So go away to the next thing, but don't start picking at bands or throwing shit at them. That's unfair. I'll never did that, and I will never do that. Like even if there's probably a shitty album of one of my favorite bands, I will not even comment it because like, okay, they did an album, I don't like it, but probably there will be thousands of people who will love it. So, but it's not up to me just to criticize them and write just bad words on the internet. And the guys do not even know me personally. So I think that's a big aspect in this cancel culture with all this disrespect. And yeah, you can hide behind a name and nobody knows you, and you can throw shit at somebody, and that's not cool. That's not fair.
Yeah, that is true, especially into the black metal area, because black metal areas now they put hooks and masks now to do the presentation. That's a weird thing. So, continuing with this interview, during the pandemic, we were all expecting to have tours and real concerts again. Now that we have this again, the situation is far different from our pre-COVID years. touring and traveling is more expensive, and I have seen a lot of bands complaining and suffering this situation. How do you see this from your perspective? Do you that this situation is the same in Latin America as in Europe?
Yeah, we just played like 2 shows already, and yeah, the response was pretty good, and it was not as crowded as expected, but it was still a good audience, and we are happy that we could play here. But as you said, after Corona, everything got more expensive, like traveling, hotel rooms, technicians, nightliner, everything went up. But also probably the ticket prices went up. But in South America, it's pretty tough to buy a ticket because the people in South America do not have that much money. And so they're really looking carefully which band they would like to see. For example, I know that this year there were so many bands who are already touring in South America, and there will still be coming a couple of bands like I think Saxon will coming next month as well. And so it's pretty tough for the fans and for the audience to choose a good show, to buy tickets for a good show.
Mm. Okay. Oh, we're very close into this interview, Tom, and for this aspect, what memories do you have about touring in South America? Obviously, in 2016, when we have the pleasure to see you performing. I remember at the Lima Metal Fest in 2016. I remember very very well. Stayed in front of you and singing all songs. I remember very well, even a little drunk at the end of the presentation. But I love, but I love your presentations. But the presentation, it was a memorable show, by the way. What do you remember from those days?
I still can remember the tour in 2016 we did together with Luca Troiani's Rhapsody. And we played a couple of shows in South America, and the audience, like always, it was fucking amazing. It was great. It was so crowded, and the fans, they also treated us very well after the shows when they would like to have like autographs or would like to make pictures. They were so nice to us, and they treated us very well. And it was a lot of fun being on stage and have the opportunity to play in front of such an amazing crowd. It was really, really nice, and it's always a great adventure for us musicians to go to South America. For me, it's like unbelievable to be here. It's like the third or the fourth time that I have the chance to play in front of so many people over here. It's really fantastic.
Great. Oh well, and one of the last questions. Now, how are you treating now the South America and until now? Because you told me that you played in 2 shows now. You will play in Crítica show there. So how is the tour going until now?
It's pretty good, but normally when we do touring in South America, everything is probably really strict, and we have one show after the other with hardly any sleep. So normally you play at 10 o'clock, and then you're finished at 11:30. Then you need to bring the back line into the bus, and then you go back to the hotel. Then you are at the hotel at 1:30, and lobby call is 4 o'clock because you have to take the first flight at 6 o'clock. We got those tours already, but this time it's pretty relaxed. So we arrived there, we had an off day, then we had a show, then we flew from I think Santo Andres to Sao Paulo, and then we stayed in Sao Paulo. Then we flew to Brasilia. Then we had a day off in Brasilia as well. So it's pretty relaxing, and for us it's pretty cool because we get used to your timing, because in the beginning you have a jet lag from hell, and then it's all going like, okay, now we are into the South America life. Timing wise, we sleep well, we go to bed after the show, and we have our like 7 or 8 hours of sleep. And then we go for breakfast, and then we have lobby call at 10, and then we go to the airport and fly to the next city. So it's pretty relaxed so far. But I think after we played Sao Paulo, and then we go to Buenos Aires first, and then we'll play like a couple of shows in a row, like traveling from Buenos Aires to Santiago, to Chile, Santiago, then it's Costa Rica. So it's a long flight. So I think it's like 2 flights, but then we have an off day in Costa Rica. Then we go back to Peru, and then to Colombia, and then Colombia, Peru, and then from Peru to Mexico. So there's a lot of traveling and hardly any off days anymore, but it's quite cool so far. The vibe in the band is really cool. We're having a a hell of a time together. We are having laughs and we hang out together on the hotel bar, having a couple of drinks, and everything is really fine and totally relaxed.
Nice, nice. Well, Tom, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one like me. As a first time, it's a great pleasure to meet you. Talking, as I mentioned before the interview, it's a second time I spoke with you. Great guy, great music. Both bands are amazing that you play. So perhaps you want to add something to your Latin American fans, and obviously a lot of people that you will come to in Peru show, especially.
Okay. Hello, fans of Primal here in South America. Please come to see our show and have a party with us. Stay safe, sane, and celebrate life. And I hope to see you soon on one of our shows in South America.
Great.